Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is a Monday. Today is the 24th of February. And if you live in the Charlotte area, then you know that warmer weather is on the way. Loren, you're going to love this. Temperatures reaching the 70s a couple days this week. And it looks like the temperatures are going to stay kind of warm for the next couple days.
Oh, thank you, sweet baby Jesus.
There you go. You're praying to sweet baby Jesus, and your conversations that you have with Mother Nature actually pay off.
Yes.
So I figured, why not start off the show with a Monday morning song to get us in the mood for not just the week, but in the mood for the warmer weather.
Yes.
And the Ataris bring us the Boys of Summer. You listen to your friend Loren, how happy she is. This is genuine, y'all.
Helicopter happy.
This is genuine, y'all. All right, welcome to your work week. We can make it happen. Let's hit it. Temperatures near 65 today, in the 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then gets a little colder for the weekend, but not out of the 50s for highs, which is nice.
Gosh, this song makes me want to take my top off.
Yes.
And not like that.
Wait. What do you mean? You said it.
I meant the Jeep. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because that would make for an interesting video for our YouTube channel.
Right.
We'd have to put blocks over your chest. Anyway, it is a Monday morning, and now I think we're ready to do a show. You can always get in touch with us, 704-570-9595. Let us know what's going on in your world. And Loren, what's going on in your world? How was your weekend? What's the thing you need to share with us today?
It was good. It was like a low-key weekend. I got a lot done for our Autism Strong Gala. I got my Botox done.
Oh,
I'm feeling all fresh and refreshed.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, you're feeling better because when you left on Friday, you thought maybe you were getting a little sick.
Yeah, I do feel better, actually.
Okay, good.
But last week, my neti pot broke, so I think that's
How
why
do you
I
break
felt
a
like
neti pot?
you used it too much. I have like the squeeze bottle, so I had to get a new squeeze bottle over the weekend. Now I'm feeling good.
All right, awesome. Well, the one thing I was going to share with you is that I had a Sunday planned that was going to be like somewhat leisurely, somewhat active, like a good combination. And that all changed when I went out to get milk out of our garage refrigerator, and I noticed that Amanda's tire was flat. So I walked over to it, and I'm like, oh, no. And I looked, and there's a screw in the tire. And apparently I've learned over the years that if the screw is somewhat centered in the tire, it can be fixed. But if it's towards the wall of the tire, with the outer side of the treads, like towards the, more far side of the tire.
The round side.
Then you're screwed. So I called AAA, and proud member since 2000. And I said, thank you. I said, I have a flat tire. And the guy's like, do you have a spare? And I said, yeah. He goes, well, what year's your car? I said, a 2023. He goes, do me a favor. Just go double check that there's a spare. He said, because in a lot of these new cars, there's spots. The spot is there for the spare. But to actually get the spare is an upgrade.
Really?
That's what I said. I go, really?
That's why I love my Jeep.
What?
It's right there on the back. I can see it every single day.
So we have the Chevy Traverse. I said, I'm pretty sure there's a spare in there. I remember seeing it. Excuse me. So I'm on the phone with the guy. He's like, well, do me a favor and just double check because I just want to make sure I know what I'm dealing with when I get there.
And I don't come all the way out there for nothing.
So I open up the back of the Traverse, unscrew like this little panel, and sure enough, I go, yep, there's a spare in there. He's like, oh, I'll be damned. All right. So he gets to the house and he realizes, he goes, you know what? I know I made you search for the spare. He's like, but we don't even need it. He said, I'm just going to pump the tire up, and you have about an hour to get it to the tire replacement place. Does that work for you?
To plug it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not to plug it. I need a new tire because remember the screws on the outside, they can't repair that. And I get to the tire place, and this is where things start going hairy, as you can imagine. And, I told Amanda, I go, it all needs to be done. All the work needed to be done on the car. There's no doubt about it. But it's like your whole day can just go from like A to Z. So I get there and I'm like, hi, I need a new tire. And the guy's like, all right, we recommend never getting just one new tire because it'll ruin the wear of the other tires on the vehicle. Of course, that's what it is. How much is each tire? Well, that particular tire, that particular style, it's like $250 each. I go, all right, get two. He's like, great. And what we'll do is we'll put them on the back, and then we'll rotate the ones from the back to the front. No charge. Great.
Awesome.
I'm out of there. Maybe $500. Get a phone call. Air filter needs to be changed. Get a phone call. Car needs to be aligned. You need an alignment. Loren, $790. And I'm like, I said to Amanda, I was like, it's a lot, but I guess it all needed to be done. But that, we always talk
the domino
about
effect.
It's the domino effect, and it's like we always look at these like the most hated things that careers, and people are like, or they don't trust, and it's like always the auto mechanic is always at the top of the list because they're never. It's like it's something we don't know about, right? And I probably could have lived with one new tire. We probably could have lived without the alignment and the air filter, but you're just like, all right, if you're recommending it and I trust you, then that's fine. But it's like, how can it almost be $1,000 for a little screw in my wife's tire?
I get it. But like, here's the thing. Was your wife complaining about the car pulling to one side?
No.
Because I was told somewhere that I needed an alignment too, and I took it to Jiffy Lube, and they're like, you don't need an alignment.
Yeah, good. I should have taken it to Jiffy. But the car was already there, and the guy's like, you just don't put new tires on without it. Now we'll get text messages and maybe a phone call or two when we go to a commercial here from mechanics who are like, man, that's just what you're supposed to do, but you could turn it down. That's going to be the... And I guess I could have turned it down, but I trust the experts. I also trust the experts to like...
You're way too trusting.
Yeah, well, sometimes I am.
You are.
They caught me at a moment of weakness yesterday. But I'm like... Okay, it'll probably be around $600. I was shocked. So I get there and the guy's like $790. I'm like, $790? I go, what'd you do? Put a turbo boost on it?
Seriously.
Nobody laughed. Not even a flinch from the guy behind the counter.
You
He's
want my
like,
firstborn?
Yeah. So anyway, I won't be eating this week, but we do have a great car that works with new tires, all thanks to a 30-cent screw. Speaking of screws, that's how I felt yesterday. It's Maney and Loren. I was just reading this. I should warn you, these are weird things that will land you in the ER.
All right.
An ER doctor is warning people that wearing Crocs could land you in the ER. The popular footwear brand isn't just a fashion choice. It's putting you at risk, according to an emergency medicine physician from the University of Chicago Medicine. He says Croc-specific injuries at least once. He sees Croc-specific injuries at least once a week.
Just another reason not to wear them. Check that box.
So you don't allow Dallas to own a pair of Crocs?
No.
The kids?
Jackson has a pair only for swim. He is only allowed to wear them to swim class.
Okay. Dean loves his Crocs, and he goes and he gets the little things to put on top of the Crocs.
Yeah, the little charms or
the
whatever
charms,
they are.
yeah.
No, I'm all set. Crocs is a fashion no-no for me.
So Crocs could land you in the ER if you're not careful. The problem is that the shoe doesn't provide enough traction or ankle support, so people go flying in their Crocs. How about petting a stranger's dog? Even if given the nod that the dog is friendly, you don't know it well enough, and just by reaching your arm in front of a dog could put you in harm's way. You don't know what kind of trauma the animal has been through and what kind of triggers it has. Therefore, lots of stitches each week from people who pet someone's quote-unquote friendly dog.
I got to be honest with you. I'll take the dog over the Crocs.
How about slicing avocados or bagels? Yes, a lot of knife-related injuries are the most common ones they see at the ER.
That's Dallas. He cuts his hand once a year.
Yeah, I cut my hand on a bagel pretty bad a couple years ago, and now I'm very, very conscious of it. But it's a big no-no to hold whatever it is you're cutting in the palm of your hand, the doctor says. Trampolines is another thing that can land you in the ER unexpectedly. They're a broken bone factory, says the doctor. Adding that they see fractures, dislocations, spinal injuries, and even head injuries from the popular bouncing activity of all time. Someone said, when I hear the word, one of the doctors says, when I hear the word trampoline, I'm like, I don't think we should go to this birthday party. Now, you have a trampoline, Loren.
I do.
Any injuries from the trampoline?
No, I think
right?
As far as injuries on the trampoline are inflicted between my boys, not because somebody fell off or like fell wrong or anything like that.
It's just a simple game of punch out.
Yeah, it's
between
a
the boys.
fisticuffs. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lastly, these are all things that could surprisingly land you in the ER. Biking without a helmet is a big one. If you wreck on your bike with a helmet on, a doctor says for the most part you're going to walk away. Without any head protection, serious injuries are going to be more common from the crash.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I shared the story earlier on the show. I took my wife's car to get a tire change. Well, I threw Dean's scooter in the back of the car, and I was scootered home. It was only about a mile, maybe a little more than a mile. Guess what I didn't wear?
Your helmet.
I didn't wear a helmet. I didn't even think of it. but I was on the sidewalk
Yeah.
Sunday morning, not doing too many crazy things. I don't know.
Your hip is, you're just asking for hip replacement at this age. I'm just letting you know.
I'm cruising down the sidewalk with
Yeah.
a hoodie on like I'm 50 and acting like I'm 5,
Yeah.
you know? So if you're like Loren, you like to shop, you enjoy buying things maybe online. I know my father-in-law loves to shop online, and my mother-in-law has no idea how much he spends, but packages just show up at the house.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. Then you might get a kick out of this story.
It does. It does sound familiar.
Yeah, I know it does.
But mine was not a package that came to the house. It was a bag that I had picked up from Marshall's. So I don't dabble in Marshall's too often because it's like, if you've been to the South Charlotte Marshalls, the line wraps around the back of the building, and sometimes you're there online just for hours. Okay. So you got to make it worth it when you go.
Okay.
So I typically have a very large haul when I go there.
Okay.
And not only did I find like these new little cups that I'm bringing my coffee in that are little like tennis, like to-go cups.
Those are reusable.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And some clothes. I picked up some home stuff. And then I found my face cream, which they never have at Marshall's. And it's a little bit on the pricier side.
Okay.
So when I find it for a good steal, I bought 3 bottles. Okay.
Okay.
So I come home and I have all this stuff in the back of my car. And everything probably could have lived in there overnight until Dallas left because he leaves for a trip this morning. But I didn't want the face cream to sit in there overnight.
So your concern now is that after getting home, you've got to get this past Dallas. He's going to notice the haul that you brought home, and that's concerning.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm sitting there, and I don't have a big enough bag to put even one of the bags in. So I'm like, how am I going to get this inside? I'm going to leave it in the car for like 5 minutes. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to use the restroom and then come out and tell Dallas that the toilet is running.
Come on. This is all your plan in your head?
This is my plan in my head. So I come in. Dallas is packing for his trip. I need to get right past where he is.
Right.
I'm like, hey, Dallas, the toilet downstairs is running. Do you mind going to look at that? I think one of the kids, I don't know, maybe they pulled the chain off or whatever, but you just got to take the back off. Yeah. I'm like, take the back off and see if you can reattach it.
How much time do you need him to be distracted for so that you could pull the haul in without him seeing?
45 seconds.
45 seconds,
Okay.
less than a minute.
Because
Okay.
I just need the one bag.
All right.
Everything else can wait.
Okay.
Dallas goes downstairs. He's in the bathroom. And
Nothing's wrong with the toilet.
Nothing is wrong
so
with the
he
toilet.
can't know.
No. And he's like, it doesn't sound like it's running. I'm like, well, flush it again and see how long it runs for. So while he's in there, of course, I run outside. I grab my bag and I get it upstairs to my bathroom and under my sink.
And he's none the wiser.
None the wiser.
And then he comes out and he's like, it's not running. And you're like,
It's like, oh, okay. Well, guess it's okay then.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Somebody texted in and said, if my husband only knew the amount of purchases that I have without him knowing. I wonder if we could get some calls and some messages going from you guys on this particular subject. Like, we all need things. We all need to shop. And it seems like the person who's not involved in the shopping process is like, do you really need that? Like, I just ordered a whole bunch of new coffee from Amazon, a specific type of coffee I like. And Amanda's like, didn't you just do that? Didn't you just order it? It's $24. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like, we're not breaking the bank. And I'm like, yeah, I need it. But it's like the person who's not involved in the shopping is always the one that's questioning the purchases.
100%.
How many times and what was it that you purchased that your partner has no idea that you're doing it like consistently, or you did it one time and they're not even aware that you bought something pretty big? This is about how the signal is cutting out. And we understand that radio, traditional radio where you get in your car or you listen on a radio in the home is sometimes breaks up. It's like the engineers.
Atmospheric.
That's what the engineers tell us, that it's atmospheric and it's the signal. Forget it. You don't want to get into the nerdy reasons why, but there is a really quick fix. And that's why we've been preaching that you need to kind of like you got to train yourself to think that Kiss 95.1 and the Maney and the Ram Morning Show isn't just on your radio dial. We're a digital entity, and you can take us with you wherever you are. And that's what we've been trying to explain here over the last couple months is like the technology advances in radio are so amazing that you don't need to sit in the car and miss work. You could put your earbuds in, stream Kiss 95.1 on that free Kiss 95.1 app.
Take us with you.
Literally. I mean, I know you hear us say that, but think about it. When you get in the car, go to the Kiss 95.1 app and plug it into your Apple Play or your Google Play or your Bluetooth.
We'll follow you around all day in like not a creepy way.
And you're not even that delayed. You're only a couple seconds behind on the stream, okay? That Kiss 95.1 stream is free and then you won't miss it. Like we don't break up.
And quite honestly, I'm working at like streaming contests. So if you don't want to miss those contests.
Yeah, we'll do some contests specifically to the stream.
I'm trying.
I like
trying
it.
to get it done.
All right, so stream us on that Kiss 95.1 app, and you won't have to worry about any atmospheric issues. The White Lotus is a really popular show on Max and HBO, and I watched episode 1. So, like, episode 2 aired this weekend on Sunday night. But I watched episode 1 from this new season 3. Have you caught up on it yet?
No, not yet. I need your login.
There is, oh, that's right. I forgot. There is a huge North Carolina connection.
Oh, what is it?
In the new season of The White Lotus.
It's filmed in Thailand at like 4 different resorts.
Right. I didn't know that.
Yes.
But I mean, I knew it was filmed in Thailand. I didn't know it was filmed at 4 different resorts, though. But it brought back Hangover vibes right away because that's my favorite Thailand movie, you know.
Yeah.
But no, the one family that includes actress Parker Posey and her 3 kids, along with her husband, are all from, I'm gathering, the Raleigh area because she's a diehard Tar Heel.
Ah.
And the rest of the sons are Dookies. And they tell everyone they run into that they're a rather demure family from North Carolina. And her youngest is trying to figure out what college to attend. Will he be a Tar Heel or will he be a Dookie?
Okay.
So it's pretty interesting because in the first episode anyway, it's a pretty big deal that they're from North Carolina, and I was like, that's awesome.
Any mention of
It's got a North Carolina connection.
UNC's new coach?
No, probably at the filming of the time of the show, Chapel Bill, as they're calling him, was not the coach yet at UNC. But I'm just kind of like, that's awesome. It's a huge show. Tons of people all across the country stream it, and North Carolina gets put on the map pretty good with the White Lotus. So the other thing I wanted to add, too, real quick, was last week on Friday, I told you that my wife wanted me to wait to watch the rest of SNL with her.
Yes. And you did not. You said you were going to rewind it.
I did.
And
I rewound
just
it.
Roll with it and see if she noticed.
I watched about 30, maybe 45 minutes more. And so, of course, I started it where we left off, and my wife goes, wait, did you watch this? This isn't where we ended. You know, I go, this is exactly where we ended. She goes, well, rewind a little bit more because I must have forgotten this part. So I did. I rewound it like, I don't know, 30 more seconds.
Busted.
It was during the news segment. No, I didn't get busted, Loren. I did really, really well.
That's because you're just a good BSer.
Well, plus, you know, what was funny was like I knew what skits were funny and what skits weren't. You know, after watching 45 minutes on my own. So I would walk out of the room and like go refill my wine or go, and I went and brushed my teeth during one skit.
That's
and
funny.
she paused it. She's like, you're going to like this one. I was like, I already saw it.
I didn't.
And I didn't love it. I guess I just don't use share rides enough to realize. I was just reading this article. We found it on Yahoo, and it was shared rides like Lyft and Uber. Their reviews are at an all-time low right now.
Really?
And after we did a little bit more of a deep dive, we found out that a lot of it has to do with just the way that those companies are treating their drivers, apparently. Pay cuts, promotions aren't the same as they used to be. Incentives to drive and pick up aren't like they used to be during the pandemic. And because of that, you're stuck with, quite honestly, I don't know however else to say it, like some crappy rides. We had some friends that took an Uber a couple weeks ago, and they said the guy actually rolled the window down and smoked. He asked if it was
oh my
okay.
Gosh.
He asked if it was okay, and the couple was like, I mean, it's your car. We prefer you not. And the guy's like, sorry, I need one. And he's like, I'll be quick. And I forget. I don't remember if it was an Uber or a Lyft, but it was a shared ride, you know.
I remember.
Can you imagine?
I don't know. I remember being pregnant with Jackson and coming home from a trip and having to Uber, I think maybe back here to the station. And the car that we got in smelt of smoke so badly that it made me nauseous, and I had to have my head out the window the whole time.
Yeah, it just sucks. It sucks that that's what it's come down to because it was such a cool concept. And by the way, we always joked about like if our grandparents came back and they were like, hey, tell us what we've missed out on.
What do you mean you got into a car with a stranger? What?
VHSs are gone, Grandpa, and now we ride with strangers instead of getting in a cab.
Yeah.
But don't worry, there's an app for it.
Yeah.
So it really has gone down. And somebody said the amount of cancellations, so many drivers are canceling when they're 3 to 5 minutes away from picking me up. And then I have to spend an additional 10 minutes to find a new driver. Then I have to wait an additional 30 to 40 minutes to pick up again. A lot of people are just leaving bad reviews, from cars being stinky to cars being crappy. Like, remember there was a certain level your car had to be?
Yes.
Apparently it's not like that anymore.
Well, and I left for a girls' trip not too long ago and got picked up here at the station, and my app said that a red pickup truck was coming to get me, and what showed up was a black van. And the guy was like, sorry, my truck's in the shop. And I'm like, really? And you brought all your Steelers gear into your car to decorate your rental?
By the way,
that seems sus.
Well, we got a text message from somebody that says they didn't really support drivers' insurance claims. So drivers were held if there was an incident. The companies didn't back them up on any insurance claims and never gave them any money, even if they weren't at fault. Mm-hmm. Someone said currently doing Uber right now, listening to you guys. And the pay was never really that good, to be honest. I think it was always meant to be a supplemental thing.
Right.
No, nobody's full-time job. Kind of a supplemental thing. But here's where we want to go. We want to ask you guys right now, why did you recently give your shared ride like a 0 or very low stars? Uber and Lyft in particular, their reviews are at an all-time low right now. And it turns out there's several factors. The article was long as to why they're at an all-time low, but a lot of it has to do with a lot of the drivers with the nicer cars have bailed off the driving app. They're not doing it any longer. And Uber and Lyft still have a need to fill. So now they've lowered the standards for the cars that they're accepting people to drive in. In fact, listen to this. Hold on. Carrie's on. Carrie, go ahead. What? It was awful cold in your car. How come?
Well, as I said, my daughter and I were on our way downtown, and we're texting each other in the car in the back seat. She goes, Mom, I feel a lot of air under my feet. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. So if she's still feeling this air, she's pressing, and she texts me again. She's like, look at this. So she pressed the carpet, and she moved it just to, kind of see what was going on under there. Maybe it was wet. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But when she moved the carpet, we could literally see the road like the Flintstones car.
No.
I'm like, what the? And
right.
So I'm going, and I had to say something to him. I'm like, sir.
Of course.
Which he knew it. I said, sir, do you know there's a hole in your floor? So I felt so
He's like, yeah, I'm going to need you to help me stop when we start slowing down.
Right. Is this something, do we need to take part in this? So he goes, he started breaking out all of these issues that he had going on. And at the end of the ride, I felt so bad for the guy. I could have given him a bad rating, but I just didn't.
Right. Yeah, thanks, Carrie.
That's so unsafe.
It is. Jennifer, hey, you had an issue with an Uber X, like one of the more expensive Ubers, huh?
Yes, I did.
What happened?
So we went to the Morgan Wallen concert in Nashville, reserved it the day before, put the spot to drop off at the stadium, and he drops us a mile away. Like, all of a sudden, we're taking a right on a road, and then he goes to this little cul-de-sac and drops us off. And we're like, what the heck? It was the black Uber or whatever.
Yeah, but you paid for red carpet service. You want red carpet service. I get it. Thanks, Jennifer.
I have taken an Uber to a concert before where they've tried to drop me off too far away, and I refuse to get out of the car.
I bet you would, yeah. Hi, Shannon.
Hey there.
Shannon's got an overall just kind of generic review. What have you noticed about your shared rides lately?
Well, not only do they smell sometimes like vomit or cigarette
Ew.
smoke, or they don't pick you up where they're supposed to, or they make you walk to them or something like that. But also, I'm afraid to leave a bad review because they can review you back. And somebody left me like a bad review as a rider when I've I've never done anything. I've always tipped. So now I'm afraid to leave anybody a bad review because what if they review me back and nobody will come get me?
So that's actually Captain Jim,
Thanks, Shannon.
One of our traffic guys was just in here, and I was walking with him in the hallway, and that's what we were talking about because they have lowered their standards, but people are afraid to report those vehicles because they're afraid that the driver will then rate them poorly.
Yeah.
So they can't weed them out either.
Somebody said got picked up on an Uber that had a hefty bag as a back window. The man told me that the window had just blown out earlier that day, but I didn't believe him.
That's like my guy. I'm telling you.
Man, oh man.
Lies.
To just get Steven on. Good morning. Hey, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was your name Steven?
No, Tommy.
Tommy.
Okay, sorry. For some reason, Steven is in the... I didn't think that's what it was. Okay. So, Tommy, one of the concerns that people have about shared rides is they feel like if they leave a bad review, that they will then not get picked up the next time they look for an Uber or a Lyft because the reviews show up and the driver's aware of that, then therefore they give bad reviews back. Can you clear that up for us?
Yeah, the drivers have no clue who rates them bad. I got one the other day that said I was not polite. I know which customer it was because they wanted me to drive through an exit gate to get into the complex because they didn't know the code. But that didn't mean, that was the only one that day that actually.
Okay.
When somebody else says something, we actually have no clue who is actually saying it.
But you could probably make a conclusion based on when that review came in or what they said in some instances.
In some instances, but we can't go back through and re-rate a passenger. Once you get out of the car and I rate you, give me one moment. I'm picking somebody up now. Pick up for Lynette. Okay. So after you get out of the car, you rate the driver, I rate you. Once I click onto the next one, I can't go back through and update the rating.
Okay.
Is that, did you do your pickup? Where are you going? To the airport?
No, we're actually heading up to Moorhead Medical, CMC.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're on the radio
We don't need to.
right now.
We don't need to know any more than that.
Ask Lynette if she listens to the Maney and Loren show.
Do you listen to the Maney and Loren show? No. 95.1? Well, you're on the radio right now.
Hi. Listen to 95.1, please. All right. Good luck.
All right, let him go.
Thank you for the insight. I appreciate that. So I just wanted to get it clear out there. So feel free to leave your bad reviews because like Loren said earlier, maybe that will help clean up some of the cars with a hole in the floor, the smokers, the bag for a back window. The Maney and Loren morning show. 3 in the QC coming up. Loren, I think we got to kick off the 3 in the QC with someone who's been on our show a couple times, but it's out there. We love him, but apparently Steve Smith, former Carolina Panther wide receiver, was having an affair with a woman out of Baltimore who I believe he met while he played for the Ravens. And the video of the woman's husband calling Smitty on her phone and saying to him, and you can hear all the audio, go find it somewhere. I can't play it on the radio.
It's aggressive.
He says, bro, basically you've been messing around and hooking up with my wife. What do you got to say for yourself? And all Smitty says is,
I'm sorry.
That's it. And then hangs up. But it's out there, the text messages and everything. So all the best to Steve Smith and his family. Who knows where it goes from there?
Yeah.
All right. Over to you, Loren. What else is happening? Give us that 3 in the QC.
So Apple is expanding operations into Maiden, North Carolina. It is part of a $500 billion 4-year U.S. expansion project. And they announced that this morning. Maiden is roughly about 45 minutes northwest.
We get lots of calls from Maiden.
Yeah. And this is Apple's largest financial commitment to date. And North Carolina is just one of a handful of states that will feel the impact directly.
Okay. Rhonda is in Maiden. Kevin's in Maiden. Danielle's in Maiden. Maggie's in Maiden. These are all people who have reached out to us and texted.
Charlotte Shout is returning to Uptown. That will happen April 4th through the 20th. In years past, it has brought more than 500,000 people to attend its actual festival and has helped produce $17.1 million in economic impacts for Uptown Charlotte. The Charlotte FC, they have one of the best Major League Soccer attendance records in the league. which I think is so amazing. And our fan base is growing. Now,
defend the crown, baby.
We had our season opener against Seattle, which was a draw, but we have our home opener this Saturday against Atlanta at 2 p.m. if you're looking to get into something this weekend.
Maybe I will get into that. I think the weather's supposed to be nice, and it's at the bank.
That's your 3 in the QC. Steve, Rosie, and Savannah, welcome to the Maney and Lauren Morning Show.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. You guys are playing Can't Beat Loren today. Never played before, but you play in the car all the time. Let's see how you do live.
All right, let's do it.
Throw Loren out of the studio, you guys.
Loren, time to leave. Let's play.
I'm going.
Steve throwing Loren out. Loren throwing her headphones down. She goes out into the hallway. Her door is closing. There you go. Door slammed. Doors closed. Steve, Rosie, and Savannah, let's try and get you all 5 right to put a little pressure on Loren. Skate for LA Strong was a charity hockey event this past weekend featuring former players and celebs like Steve Carell and this Canadian singer whose baby mama is Hailey Baldwin.
Justin Bieber?
It's official now. J-Lo's fully divorced from whom?
Ben Affleck.
Question 3. Legally Blonde 3 is coming soonish, says the actress who played the character Elle Woods.
That is Reese Witherspoon.
Kristen Bell jumped in to host the SAG Awards over the weekend. SAG stands for what?
Screen Actors Guild.
And question 5. Rihanna says she feels great at 37 and her new album is going to be her best yet. She calls what country home?
Oh, God. Can you repeat it?
Yes. Rihanna says she feels great at 37 and her new album will be her best yet. She calls what country home? And our intern who wrote this said that, don't forget, she did a big campaign for this country. A lot of commercials ran on TV promoting.
I'm going to go with Barbados.
All right, come on in, Loren. I'll have to give Loren the same hint.
Okay.
All right,
No worries.
Steve, Rosie, and Savannah did pretty well. Well, let me change that. Steve did really well. Rosie and Savannah watched.
Okay.
He got all 5 right.
Oh, good job.
So the pressure's on you now. I love it.
Okay.
108 wins. Let's see how you do.
Cold in here.
Skate for LA Strong was a charity hockey event this past weekend featuring former players and celebs like Steve Carell and this Canadian singer whose baby mama is Hailey Baldwin.
Justin Bieber.
It's officially official. J-Lo's now divorced from whom?
Ben Affleck.
Legally Blonde 3 is coming soonish, says the actress who played the character Elle Woods.
Reese Witherspoon.
Question 4. Kristen Bell jumped in to host the SAG Awards over the weekend. SAG stands for?
Screen Actors Guild.
Rihanna says she feels great at 37 and her new album will be her best yet. She calls what country home?
Barbados.
Yeah, that's right. Man, good job. I don't know if I would have gotten Barbados. I probably would have said the Bahamas because I feel like I watched commercials of her promoting it, and I thought it was the Bahamas. But anyway, you guys did really well. All 5 questions right for each of you, and you know ties stay with the house, Steve. So she moves on to win number 109.
Great job, Steve, by the way.
Good job. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, you know what she wants to hear.
Yes, this is Steve and Rosie and Savannah, and we can't beat Loren, but we can tie her.
You sure can. Thanks for playing, guys. Have a great day.
All right.
Brought our buddy Big Al into the studio because he was in New Orleans last week.
Yup.
Was it your flight there or your flight back where you feel like your seatmates were hooking up?
The flight there is, it was the one there.
So just explain to everyone what happened and what did you witness?
So I got on the plane, right? It was a Spirit flight. And you know that.
Oh, it's always Spirit.
I love
Why
Spirit.
is it always Spirit?
I love Spirit. Spirit is so like.
I do too.
It's so spirited. It says it in the name.
It is unpredictable.
So I get up there, I'm chilling, and they like, it's a full flight, everybody. So you know what I'm saying? You already know ain't really going to be a whole lot of moving going around.
Now, you went with a group, but the group of people, you guys didn't sit together?
Yeah, we didn't sit together. Yeah, you know sometimes you'll get there, they'll be like, we putting you here. It'd be random.
Okay.
So I get on the plane, and I'm like, okay. First of all, somebody in my seat, and I'm like, this is going to be something, so I already know. I'm like, how am I about to address this? Because I'm supposed to be in the middle, and you in my seat. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, man, you're fighting over a middle seat? I'd be like, you can have the middle seat.
That's why I was like, I'm going to walk up and let them land. And they was like, okay, like, we're a couple. Like, can we just sit right here, and then you sit on the edge? I said, sure, that's fine with me.
So they were in middle and window. Got you.
Yes, they were in the middle and the window seat. I was supposed to be, thank God I moved. Because if I would have been in the middle, I don't know what that would have been
They would
like.
have been octopusing over you.
I mean,
You would have been part of a throuple.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Y'all can have the little window. I'm going to just sit here, put my headphones in, and vibe. And I mean, not 10 seconds later, I hear 2 kisses. Like, I'm like, oh, y'all really PDAing over here. Like, this is a little next level for what I'm used to. And then this was the day after Valentine's Day. So I'm like, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all trying to catch a vibe. Maybe y'all newlyweds or something like that. I'm with y'all. But then it started to get carried away because them 2 kisses turned into 6. And then them 6 turned into 32. I had a kiss counter, but I quit counting.
You lost count at some point.
I was like, who finna count all of this? Now
Were
this
they
is
doing
crazy.
Or was it like
No,
pretty
it was more pecks, but it was constant. Like they were sitting there looking at each other like, I mean, inches away from each other.
And you're
I'm
going,
like,
come up for air.
I'm
Like,
like,
let
we're
her
married.
on a flight.
You think they were married? Were older couple, younger couple?
See, they were older, and I was like, either y'all are like newlyweds, or like y'all cheating, or like there's something going on because this is too passionate.
Did they make for the bathroom at any point to join the Mile High Club?
No, they didn't. No, they didn't do that.
No.
Did they join the Mile High Club right there?
I think they might have
in
did
their
it right next
seats?
to me because
No, they didn't go to the bathroom, Maney. They did the Mile
I
High
think they
Club
did it
right next to me.
So
Did they really? Were they like really the physical the whole flight?
legit, they held each other the whole flight. I had this big coat that I have on right now on, and I was like, I'm just too uncomfortable to take it off. I need all the protection and everything I need on me.
Can I ask?
How disrespectful to Al.
I know, and I know this is probably going just a little bit too far. Did they have a blanket?
Yeah.
Ew.
Well, it was her shawl. It was her shawl.
But it was over there.
It was over
their
them. I said,
laps.
I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I know what y'all are doing.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder
the
how.
PDA'd. I mean,
I wonder how common that is. Can we find one other person who heard Al's story say that they also were on the plane and they witnessed heavy PDA on the plane? Because, listen, I've flown with my wife. I've flown with girlfriends. I don't know. It just doesn't strike me as a romantic part of my afternoon or evening. It's
Now-
to get some action on the plane. Yes.
No. Don't look at me
Yes.
personally. I have been on a flight overseas where I watched 2 couples double dutch, or a couple, excuse me, 2 people double dutch to see if they could get into the bathroom together.
Oh, they tried.
They tried.
oh.
But eyes were watching. And by eyes, I mean mine.
It's the Maney and the Red Morning Show. All the hits, Kiss 95.1. We were talking about Big Al, who, I don't know, he ran out of here. Had to go do something. Here, Big Al. Get in here real quick, dude. Somebody wants to corroborate that what you saw on the plane.
Let's talk about it.
The plane might have been true.
Talk about it.
We have an anonymous caller on. Hi, anonymous.
Hello.
So you and your ex-boyfriend had a blanket while on the plane, and you can say
Ooh.
that things did happen, huh?
Ooh.
Yes, very much so. Yes.
See,
Okay. So wait, were you sitting next to Al?
Yeah, was this recently?
because I have questions.
Did you have somebody sitting next to you, or you alone?
No, I think we were both just in the row together on our side.
Okay.
That's respectful.
That is respectful. Now, you
Well,
added third person in there.
How funny it would be if she was like, I was in the aisle, he was on the window, so maybe the middle person was a little awkward.
Yeah, I was reaching across Al.
So,
Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know how to ask without.
I will. How far did you make it?
Okay.
There was
All-
hands and skin touching each
Okay.
other.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We
And nobody, and you don't
there
think
was-
anybody noticed?
hey, I don't think so. Nobody ever said anything.
Oh, your flight attendant noticed. She just didn't want that smoke. She was like,
I am not trying to deal with that today.
I'm going to fill out an incident report and
Incident
I'm all
report.
set.
I am good.
Did you find it made the?
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Have a little fun on the flight. Why not?
Did you find it made the flight go faster?
Oh, it made it very hot in there.
Yeah, that's for sure, Anonymous. We made it from Charlotte to L.A. in 3 hours. All right, thanks, Anonymous.
yeah,
we appreciate you. There you go, Al. So you do know now that it does happen. You were absolutely right.
Y'all, please, America, because that was crazy.
Gone are the days of going to the bathroom to do it.
I mean, hey.
I think a few of these are going to surprise you. These are actors who played well outside their range of age.
Okay.
Like, I know the entire cast of Beverly Hills 90210. They were way older than they played.
Playing teenagers.
It's not on here, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in their 20s playing teenagers.
I know for certain, like, half of the Bridgerton cast is much older than what they're playing on the show.
Okay. No hate, obviously. But like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Peter Parker graduated from high school, making him about 18, but Andrew Garfield, who played him, was 31.
Mm-hmm.
Orange is the New Black, Elizabeth Rodriguez, she played Dasha's mother, but Elizabeth is only 2 years older than Dasha. How about that?
I'm going for whatever role y'all got
Right?
open.
I'm like, that is so backhanded when your agent calls you and is like, congratulations, you got the role. But you're playing someone's mom who's only 2 years younger.
Angelina Jolie is on the list. She played Colin Farrell's mother in Alexander, but she's only a year older than him in real life.
Hilarious.
More modern, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande and Jonathan Bailey play first-year college students in Wicked, but they're all in their 30s.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy. Is that the guy?
Yeah.
That's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he really looked older than everybody. He really looked older than everybody.
You know what? You know who the worst offender of this whole people who play well outside their age range is?
Who?
Is like adult movies. Like when the babysitter shows up and the babysitter's older than the parents, but is supposed to be a teenager and is dressed in like a cheerleading outfit. That's cringe. The Golden Girls. I knew this. Estelle Getty played B. Arthur's mother, but in real life, B was actually a year older than Estelle Getty on the show. I'd heard that.
I don't know. I like all the memes of the Golden Girls when it's like when you realize that they were only in their 40s at the time and you're like, I just turned 40.
None of the kids in Greece were actually kids. Travolta was 24. Olivia Newton-John was 29.
No, Greece is funny because Rizzo.
Yeah,
Oh
she was 34, bro.
And Rizzo, I was
Stockard
like,
Channing.
Rizzo.
Like, let's just make it believable for a moment.
And lastly, in Hannah Montana, James Earls played Miley Cyrus's older brother when the show started. The character was 16. Jason was 29 years old playing a 16-year-old.
But hey, I mean, good for you. If you're older and you can play a teenager,
Get that bag.
right?
Okay? Do what you
That
need
is
to
the
do.
biggest compliment.
Maney and Loren morning show. Loren doing mom things. What happened? You got a call from school. In full disclosure.
Cash got dropped off like literally 5 minutes ago. He's already crying.
Oh, no.
I don't know if he forgot his backpack in the car or my nanny forgot the backpack at home altogether. So
Oh, no.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of that now.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to give everybody a look behind the curtain and say that life lives.
Yeah. Oh, lives.
Evan, good morning, Evan.
Good morning.
You're caller number 9. You are our contestant for the official Maney and Loren Morning Show game of the day, okay?
Okay.
All right, the rules are simple. Our staff went back and looked up a list of prizes that we gave away, the more unusual prizes. So some of on my list, Loren, are prizes that we really gave away, and some they made up.
Okay.
So you got to decide, Evan, whether it was really a prize that we gave away or we just made it up, okay?
Okay.
And Loren, no help because you were part of the show, so you know the answers to most of these. How about an empty water bottle that Zayn from One Direction left behind when we interviewed them in 2014?
Oh, wow. That sounds possible. So
Yes, Zayn Malik.
I'm going to go yes.
That's pretty specific.
We did give that away. Not only that, one of the promotions kids went into the garbage can to retrieve it after we told them it would be a great prize. Yeah. I did offer to go get it, but they went and got it for us. So there you go. There's one.
Okay.
How about a year's supply of dog food?
I don't think so.
That's a very specific gift, right? Mm-hmm. Loren, did we give away a year's supply of dog food once?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Oh,
And
wow, that was pretty good.
surprise her.
Well, the best part is that it went to somebody who didn't even have a dog.
That's
remember?
right. But his brother did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We played a game where it was like, I forget what the game was, but the prize
It was
was
like
a year
kibbles
supply.
and bits or something. Yeah.
All right. So wait, you missed that one. So we can try to get you two more here. A Barbie Corvette. Did we give away a Barbie Corvette? You know, the movie was hot.
Yeah. Like a little tiny one, right?
Yeah,
Like
we
Barbie
did
doll.
not, because one of
No?
the big things in radio is that if you give away a car, it has to be a full-size car. You can't lie and say you're giving away a vet and then have it be a toy. One radio station was sued back in the 90s for that, and they owed the winner a full car. How about that?
Oh, wow.
All
I mean,
right.
if you say it's a toy car, then it's all right.
How about a broken iPhone?
A broken iPhone. No.
No, we did give that away.
Why would you give away a broken iPhone?
We asked if anyone wanted it as part of our cleanup when we moved offices a couple years ago, and somebody said that, yes, they would absolutely take the broken iPhone, came and picked it up.
Oh, man.
All right, bro. One more. A TV.
Yes.
We did. That was one that we just gave away recently. Although, Big Al, nobody's come to claim
No, they
their
haven't.
TV. Yeah,
I'll
no.
play the TV then.
Wait.
I don't know what happened. They have not came to get that TV.
Nope.
I don't know what that's about.
All right, put Evan's name down, and we'll give the guy who won the TV another month. And then if Evan wants it and is still here for a month, we'll give it to him, okay?
I like that.
Because I think you have to forfeit after 60 days or something.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
better know the rules.
Nah, there you go. All right, Evan, what a show. Giving away dog food to somebody who didn't own a dog.
Right.
All right, buddy, we
Good
appreciate
times.
it. Thanks a lot. Hold on a minute. Got to get some more information from you.
We've got DM drama, and she didn't say not to use her name, so I'm going to say it. But Nessa sent us this.
Nessa?
Yep.
I like that name.
And she said, hey guys, my best friend is getting married next month and having a non-kid wedding.
Oh, boy.
Which I respect, but she got mad when I said I wouldn't be able to come because I can't leave my 2-year-old for a week to go to her destination wedding. She says that I should just make it work because she was in my wedding, but we were in our early 20s then, few responsibilities. We lived at home with our parents, and I would love to go to her wedding, but I just can't leave my son for that long, and she thinks I'm being unreasonable. How can I make her understand?
Listen, my wife and I did a 40-50 vacation. I talked a lot about that. We invited about, 10 couples, and 3 couples made it, including ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. Life is all
Life be
around you,
lifing.
man. We say it, but it's true. Like 2 or 3 of my friends just couldn't afford it. Another 2 or 3 of my friends had kids going to college. One has a child who's going to have a bar mitzvah this year, and that's expensive. And just like, you just can't pull it off. And you know what? I'm not mad at any of those people. I was sad that they couldn't make it because it was so much fun. You know, I invited you and Dal, but you guys couldn't make it. And it just is what it is.
Do you want to know what the difference is here?
What?
You have kids, you understand. She wants to know how to make her friend understand. She's not going to. Unfortunately.
The friend who's getting married, the bride
friend
doesn't
who's-
have kids.
Right. So she's not going to understand that it's not as easy as pinning a $20 bill to their collar and giving them to somebody for the week. Okay.
Yeah.
I personally know the struggle here because my husband and I, we can't do vacations like we used to, just the two of us for a week, like we did before we had kids.
Right.
We have a child with special needs who can't just be left with anyone. And that is very, people don't understand that when they're on the other side of it.
Yeah.
When they have, grandma and grandpa that live right down the street and they take the kids all the time. We don't have any family here, so it's not easy for us to coordinate that.
Now, the added caveat to all this, too, is that this is a wedding.
Right.
And it's her best friend's wedding. And she was in her wedding, so the bride with no kids wants this woman,
To be
Nessa, to come to her wedding.
Right.
Now, there is something you could do, Nessa, and I know you're listening because you told us you listen at this time. There is something you could do. Have somebody come down for, what they say, a week? A week's a lot. Tell them you can't do a week for a wedding. Like, if the wedding's Saturday, go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and leave Sunday.
Okay, but now Nessa has to take not only herself to this wedding,
And
to
it-
get herself to this destination, but now she has to take her 2-year-old and another person.
Yeah.
That's going to get expensive.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
the friend's not going to understand, but if you can't do it, you just have to put the boundary there and hope that when she has kids later on, she will understand.
So you're against her traveling with somebody to take care of that 2-year-old while she's busy.
If she can't do it and that gets too expensive, then yes, I'm against it. Don't put yourself into debt to not hurt somebody else's feelings.
This might not necessarily because it is a destination wedding. It's another caveat on
Right,
top of the whole thing. But if you are someone who's getting married and you want to do a no kids wedding,
We did a no kids
we
wedding.
did too. And we did ours in Memphis. And it was a destination for my entire family. That's where my wife is from. So, obviously she was local. But my friends and family came with kids. You know what Amanda did? She rounded up about 8, maybe 10 ladies that she knew
to babysit.
The night of the wedding. Had
Yep.
the kids there the whole time. Just the actual reception itself was kid-free.
Mm-hmm.
And so we made it easy. And they stayed at the hotel, and the girls were there, and the girls were great.
So maybe turn this around on the bride and say,
Help me.
I can't be the only one who's dealing with this. I can take a 2-year-old as a lap child on the flight, but can you provide some assistance once we're there?
Help me.
Yeah.
I really want to go,
Yeah.
but here's my situation. I love that idea. Put it on the bride, because if she wants you to go, she'll try and help you figure it out. That's our advice, Nessa. And, of course, send pictures, because nobody's going to be more jealous of your trip than my friend Loren right across the way.
Yep.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching our videos. It's Maney. I would love for you to subscribe and like us as well. And then check out our other videos like War of the Roses and the behind the scenes stuff where we're crazy psycho off the air. Go look at them. They're here and here. They're everywhere.